Today's lesson is on graphing with bar graphs. There are a few things about bar graphs we must remember. Bar graphs compare categories. They use bars to show the comparisons. The bars may be horizontal or vertical. And when making them, we use the spaces on the graph paper, not just the lines. Here's a picture of a bar graph, and let's look at the different parts of the bar graph. The title tells us what the bar graph is about. Here we have the vertical axis. You can either have the scale on the vertical axis or you can have it on the horizontal axis. We have a vertical label that will explain the scale. Here's the horizontal axis, and notice there is a label on the horizontal axis. It explains the categories. Here's an example of a vertical and a horizontal bar graph. The top running speeds is a horizontal bar graph. The Michigan Ski Resorts is a vertical one. Here are two more examples. So all in all, we are comparing things in categories. Here are the steps to make a bar graph. There are 5 steps. Once you are done, you can stop the video and you can write them down. Number 1, you need to decide on a scale by looking at the smallest and largest numbers in your data. Number 2, label the x-axis with one category. Number 3, label the y-axis with the other category. You're going to draw bars onto the graph. Remember, they must be even in size, and you would color in each bar. The last step is to add the title. You must use a straight edge for this. Here, classmates voted on the name for their class pet. The results were Toby 8 votes, Sammy 7 votes, Veronica 5 votes, and Zeke 4 votes. So we need to look at the data. We see that we have 8 votes as the largest and 4 votes as the smallest. Therefore, I probably need a scale going up by ones. Start at 0. There's our scale. Secondly, we need to label the x-axis with one category. Remember, the x-axis goes across the page, and the category here we're going to name the pet names. This is where we will list the different names. The next thing is to label the y-axis. Well, we have the scale there, so the label must indicate what the scale is, and that's the number of votes. Next, we should draw the bars on the graph. You need to make sure you're using a straight edge to do this, and you will have graph paper. So the first one we're going to draw is Toby at 8 votes. So I go across to 8, and I'm using my straight edge to make my ruler. Then Sammy at 7 votes. So the bar must be a little bit shorter. We have Veronica at 5 votes. Whoops. We'll fix that in just a minute. A little bit taller than that. That should be about 5. There we go. And last we have Zeke with 4 votes. Notice the bars are pretty equal in size, the width of them. With graph paper, it's much easier. We write the pet names on the x-axis. And then we color the bars in. Now on the smartboard, it doesn't color very well. You can use a colored pencil and color them in neatly. Yours also are going to possibly be different colors, and that's okay. You want to make it interesting so people want to see your bar graph. The last step is to add the title. Look at the information given to you to decide on what the title will be. This is the votes for pet names. So it looks like Toby won the vote because it has the tallest bar. Here's another example that I've included. Notice that the intervals start at 0 and go up by 5s. The scale is usually starts at 0 and it can go up by different numbers. This scale goes up by 2s. We usually pick 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, easy numbers that can count. Now pause the video for a moment and tell me 2 things that are wrong with this bar graph. Here is your following example that you're going to put into your notes. You have a piece of graph paper. The Iroquois West Upper Elementary students were surveyed for their favorite subject, and their votes are as follows. Draw this in your graph paper and tape or glue it into your notes and bring it back to class. Good luck!